Hi, welcome to Heart Medical Center. This is my office, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about detoxing and why you should detox and what might be connected to your needs for detoxification. So I'm going to just jump right into it, and I'll give you some time for questions at the end of this whole thing. But I'm going to start by sharing my slides. And by the way, I'm Dr. Shiroko Sokitch, owner of Heart Medical Center. And as I said, this is my office. You can see the beautiful pictures in the background. And welcome. I'll be with you with my slides. Here we go. Why detox? So, first of all, let's look at our natural design. And the truth is that humans are naturally designed to detoxify well and to have no problem with detoxification. But we have amazingly brilliant bodies, and we have several mechanisms for detoxification. And our bodies should naturally cleanse themselves. The liver, the kidneys, the digestive tract, your skin, your lungs, and your bladder all have ways of detoxification. But then sometimes what happens, especially with the way our environment is, why would we have to worry about it? Because and why are so many people talking about cleansing these days? So first of all, there's a deadly increase in the amount of toxins in our environment, and we constantly have new chemicals being produced. And in fact, I think there's over 800 or 80,000 new chemicals every year. That's what I read recently. And a baby is born with over 200 chemicals in their umbilical cord that they've been measured. One of the very, very most interesting or most toxic chemicals is in our diet every single day is glyphosate. Now, I don't know if you know what glyphosate is, but Roundup, the weed killer, is used pretty much everywhere, and that's what glyphosate is. And what's happened now is that genetically modified foods have been made to basically, they want to have the weed killer inside the plant, or have so that there aren't any weeds growing up around the plant. And so the genetically modified foods have Roundup incorporated into their genetics so that they don't grow weeds. Glyphosate, of course, is bad for you, and it's one of just many chemicals in our non-organic foods. Here are some of the effects of glyphosate. Of course, it's toxic, and it's widely connected with causing cancer. It's also connected with inflammation, autism, allergies, colon problems, increasing levels of food sensitivities. It's one of the reasons that people believe that gluten sensitivity has become so bad, is because most gluten or most wheat products are very high in protein. They've been they've been cultivated to be more high in protein so that we'd have more protein in our diets, but then also higher in genetically modified and have glyphosate in them. We have more obesity, more infertility, and even Parkinson's has been connected with glyphosate effects. Another source of toxins in our environment is heavy metals. And there are more heavy metals in our environment than there ever were. And as of course you know about mercury in fish, but did you know that you could only, that even the USRDA recommendation for tuna fish is less than once a month because it's so high in mercury? And then most of the large fish like swordfish and halibut, one of my very favorites, mahi-mahi, and many other fish are high in mercury. And so actually what I advise you to do if you're interested in looking into that is going to a website called the Environmental Working Group and checking to see the reports of mercury and what fish are actually safe to eat. And then aluminum is also pretty much everywhere. There's aluminum cookware. There's aluminum in the cans of canned foods that we eat. There's aluminum in our deodorant. There's aluminum, pretty much everywhere. And that can also cause toxic effects. Aluminum has been connected to Alzheimer's disease and mental defects. And then recently, I've begun to see, when I do heavy metal testing on my patients, I've begun to see uranium in people. And uranium, comes from radioactive waste. And of course, you know about Fukushima a few years ago. And so it could be that uranium is in our system because of that. It could be because it's released from certain natural environment sometimes. But I have been finding uranium toxicity in some of my patients. And then thallium and cesium are also radioactive minerals or metals, and they have been recently found in kale. So if you eat too much kale, it's been found that some people will become thallium or cesium toxic. So as you can tell, there's just a whole bunch of heavy metals available in our environment. Here are some of the symptoms of heavy metal toxicity: fatigue, inability to fight infections, and this could be seen when somebody has some infection and they keep doing treatments and they can't, and it doesn't seem to go away. Let's say they get bronchitis and it just won't go away, or if they have Lyme disease and it won't get better. And I have some patients who have candida, which is the chronic yeast infections, and they can't seem to get rid of them no matter what they do with their diet, with their supplements and things like that. And when you find that somebody cannot get rid of an infection, they might be heavy metal toxic. Chronic pain can be connected with heavy metal toxicity. And again, it's sort of more of a diagnosis of exclusion, where you will see that a person will have pain that does not respond to anything that you do. So it might be connected to heavy metals. Brain fog, definitely brain fog can be caused by heavy metals. Chronic migraines are caused by heavy metals, and other neurological problems. Like in children, behavior problems such ADD and autism could be connected to mercury toxicity. And remember, this is one of the reasons that actually mothers or pregnant women are encouraged not to eat any fish, is because there's so many toxins in the ocean. And with the tiny developing brains and nervous systems, they're much more toxic at the doses that we get exposed to. So moms are encouraged not to eat fish. So you can test for heavy metal toxicity, and you can do it in blood, urine, and hair, and all of them have different functionality. So you can choose your mechanism of getting it tested. If you don't color your hair, I like to do hair analysis because it's easy to do, it's inexpensive, and metals that don't belong will show up, whereas metals that do belong is not so reliable, in my opinion, for looking for like how your mineral status is than the rest of your body, but it is pretty reliable for looking for metals that don't belong, like uranium or aluminum or mercury. There are over 80,000 new chemicals made a year, and there's no health regulation on how many chemicals are produced. And as I mentioned earlier, there are 200 chemicals that were found in a newborn's cord blood when they were measured. And adults who have a clean lifestyle have volunteered to be measured for how many chemicals are in their system. And they have been found to have over 700 different chemicals. So obviously we get exposed to chemicals all the time, and this is one of the issues. Here are some more toxins in our everyday life that we might be exposed to. The other day, I wrote about this in my blog, but the other day I was at a restaurant and I went and sitting at the counter watching them make up my breakfast. And their cooking surface, fortunately, like the griddle part, was stainless steel, but then they used Teflon pans for sauteing the eggs. They used an aluminum pot for poaching eggs, for Eggs Benedict. They had a bottle of oil that was in plastic that they squeezed out like 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil into the Teflon pan to fry the eggs. And I was just sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, like plastics are very, very toxic. you've all heard of BPAs, the bisphenol plastics, and even though now they're saying BPA free plastics, but I think still plastics have a high risk of toxicity, especially if you put hot food in plastics. Foods in restaurants, there's all kinds of stories about, like, if you buy meat in inexpensive restaurants, they use some sort of cement to hold the meat together. And I've done tests on patients for toxicity and found residues of gasoline or styrofoam in their blood. So there's toxins just pretty much everywhere. And then think about the products that you use at home. You use laundry detergent, and I don't know, have any of you noticed that you get really super sensitive sense of smell? Like you start to smell things much more intensely, or your eyes burn when you're exposed to certain scents. There's a laundry detergent smell that I get exposed to that I really burns my eyes. So, but if you start to notice that you're reacting to more things in your environment or feeling more sensitive in your environment, then it could be that your detoxification system is overloaded. So let's say you use certain kind of floor cleaning products, or you use dishwashing detergent, or you use laundry detergent. This is the thing that I smell the most, is the laundry detergents and the chemicals that are used in them. There's even the makeup that you use, the skincare products. Some of them, for people who are gluten sensitive, it's been well publicized lately that there are chemicals in your skincare, and there's also sometimes gluten in your skincare, and so that you might be exposed to more chemicals. You could be lead toxic from your lipstick. You could become aluminum toxic from your deodorant. And so even those silicone rocks that people use, the crystals for deodorant, those are actually made out of aluminum. So, or they have aluminum in them. So you're still being exposed to heavy metals, even when you're thinking you're being healthy. And, you know, in some ways, it's just impossible to get rid of all of the chemicals that you get exposed to. You know, we're all modern people and we live a modern life. And so basically the detoxification and doing a cleanse is a great way to help your system get detoxified. So basically our natural detoxification mechanisms are overwhelmed, and because we're exposed to too many things, the system's unable to keep up and it needs support, which is one of the reasons that I believe that a detox is a valuable thing to do. So here are some of a list of all of the effects that can happen because of chemicals in our environment. We can have reproductive problems. We can have developmental problems. There are behavioral problems in children. There are neurological problems in both children and adults. Autism, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Parkinson's is associated with either infection or heavy metal exposures. Endocrine problems. Endocrine means hormones. So you could have hormone imbalances. All of the plastics in our environment and BPAs. And this is one of the things I've seen, you know, young children, young women are at age 10 or 11, they're having their periods early because of the exposure to synthetic estrogens in our environment. Women who are in menopause are having symptoms of too much estrogen while their progesterone naturally declines as they're in perimenopause. And so they'll have heavy bleeding, or they'll have fibroids, or they'll even have symptoms of endometriosis because they're being exposed to synthetic type estrogens. And then there's, of course, the effects on our immune system, where people are more prone to infections, or people are more sensitive to foods, or more allergy symptoms. Some of the environmental allergies that people have are related to exposures to chemicals. And so that's these are all the symptoms of our detoxification system being overwhelmed. So what can we do about it? Well, I love this picture because there's a frog in it, and frogs represent cleansing in native cultures. And so this is the color green, and frogs represent cleansing. So I invite you to think about cleansing here now. The best thing to do is to help our bodies detoxify by providing the nutrients and the ingredients it needs in order to do its job. And again, you know, people always ask me, why should I take supplements? Well, again, in our modern society, we are living at a speed and with stress levels that were not in existence when our bodies were designed. And so with higher stresses and with higher intensity of living, again, our bodies need more nutrients. They need more support. And it's the same for our detoxification system. We need to provide nutrients and ingredients in order to help our bodies do their jobs. So a cleanse is designed to sort of create a mini vacation for your body. It's to remove, basically, I call it noise. You know, like we live in a noisy, busy, crazy environment. And when you reduce the noise, then the body gets to relax a little bit, and then it can start to do its job. And so the elements of a cleanse, of a good cleanse, are that you simplify your diet by not eating the wide variety of foods. And of course, you'd remove the processed foods, and you remove non-organic foods, and you eat organic, you keep it high in vegetables, and you really just simplify. So there's no sugars, no caffeine, no processed foods. You remove all possible toxins from your environment if you can. So, you know, you want to maybe change your cleaning products in your home, and you may want to shower with organic soaps and things like that. You want to support the detox systems. So you want to provide the nutrients that would help your detoxification systems. And most detoxification is done, you know, like I said, your liver, your lungs, your kidneys, your large intestine, your intestines, and that's it. All do something in detoxification, but most important is the liver's job in detoxification, because it has the ability to transform chemicals from toxic chemicals into non-toxic chemicals. And there are two pathways. There's a cytochrome P450 pathway and what's called a methylation pathway. That's too complicated for this talk right now, but basically you want to support the body's ability to detoxify. You also want to get the proper amount of rest. You want to be able to stay hydrated, so that this is one of the ways that you help the kidneys eliminate toxins, is by keeping plenty of water flushing through your kidneys, and that helps clear out the toxins that are trying to get out. Also, staying hydrated helps your colon clear out stuff. And then you want to create a mini vacation for your body by not stimulating it with extra toxins. This is traditionally done in the fall and the spring. You do it twice a year. And by doing it twice a year, basically you're supporting your body and you're getting it ready for the change of seasons. And that's it. So why don't more people do detoxifications? Well, most of them are very complicated. I remember a few years ago, I decided I was going to create my own cleanse. And I had like 5 different bottles of different pills that you had to take at different times. And I had a whole complicated diet. And it was complicated to even remember how to do everything. And I had designed it myself, and I created all of the supplements. But it was too much for people. And so they didn't want to do that. And most people don't want to have diet restrictions, and which makes sense. It's more challenging to have diet restrictions. And any kind of cleanse, you may have a few days where you feel the detoxification. So as your system is detoxifying, you might feel a little bit more tired. You might feel a little bit more achy, depending on how bad your diet already is. you might feel some of the symptoms. You might have more food cravings during the time that you're doing cleansing. And so that's why some people don't want to do a cleanse. So the solution to that is to keep it simple. And so I finally found a cleanse that provides all of the things that I wanted, but keeps it simple so that all you have to do is drink 2 shakes a day and eat 1 meal, and you take 2 packets of supplements, 1 with each shake. And it's easy to do, because you don't have to think about what you have to eat for part of the day. And when you do eat, it's simple food, and it only lasts 2 weeks. So this is how you make it an easy thing to do. I created my Doctor Scirocco 14-day seasonal reboot. It provides high protein, high quality, clean protein. It provides the nutrients that you need for detoxification functions. It supports the colon, the liver, and the kidneys. It tastes good, and it's easy to do without too much thinking. And the Detox Formula is an advanced detoxification formula and provides, so it comes in a big box, and you have 14 packets, actually 28 packets, because you take a drink twice a day. Has 18 grams of pea protein. It's hypoallergenic. It's GMO free. Has a high quality amino acid profile, which you need high quality protein in order to support your system. It has a multivitamin and mineral for detoxification support. It has specific nutrients for helping the liver. It has some antioxidants for tissues and fiber to help you feel full, and also to help your bowels clear out. And then it has a veggie and fruit blend that's organic for antioxidant and metabolic support. Here are the list of ingredients for this whole thing, so you can see them. And you can see it's organic vegetables and fruit in there. It has calcium D-glucarate, which is really good for helping hormones be cleared out of the liver. It has milk thistle, which helps the liver. And then it has all these N-acetylcysteine and MSM that supports the sulfur pathways, the methylation pathways. It has the type of B vitamins that help with methylation. So all of the systems that provide detoxification are supported by this. And again, if you haven't, if your system has felt overwhelmed, and one of the symptoms, like I've said, is you feel puffy, you've got weight gain that you can't get rid of, you feel swollen, you might feel more tired than normal, you might have burning of your eyes. These are all symptoms that your detoxification system is overwhelmed. Your sense of smell could become super, super sensitive. You might have a runny nose all the time, or you might feel like you have allergies all year long. And that is another symptom of your toxins feeling overwhelmed, or your body unable to detoxify. Because because when it can't detoxify, then systems feel like they're flooded. Your skin might be breaking out. You might have unusual breakouts of your skin, or you might have rashes that are unexplained. All of these are symptoms of overwhelm of your detoxification pathways. There are some people who should not cleanse, and there are some times of year that I believe that people should not cleanse. And one of the times of year is winter. In winter, in Chinese medicine, in winter, the kidneys are the most prominent. And it's a time of year where your energy becomes depleted naturally. A lot of people notice that they're more tired in winter and they want to sleep more. I believe winter should be a time where we hibernate to some degree. And your energy wants to be more internal, and cleansing and detoxification is something that is an external thing. You're releasing things from your body, and it requires a fair amount of energy. And in spring and fall, the energy is more available for that sort of thing. And if you were only going to cleanse one time of year, then I would say you would only do that in spring. You would also not want to cleanse if you're really sick already. If you're feeling terrible already, you'd want to be very careful about a cleanse. You might want to do it more gently. If you're super sensitive to sulfur, you might have to modify the cleanse that this one is. There are other cleanses that don't have sulfur containing supplements in them. And if you're pregnant or nursing, you should definitely not be cleansing, because you're, again, in a building time of your life. You want to be supporting your body and nourishing it in a, in a more full way than a cleanse would allow you to do. So there are other elements besides taking the shake and using the supplements. You want to also do certain other things. You want to keep yourself well hydrated. You want to cut out caffeine. Caffeine is a dehydrator for one thing, but also can cause your adrenals to be overstimulated or cause your adrenals to get wiped out. And so usually we have people cut out caffeine. You want to get enough rest, and you want to continue to exercise. And actually, one of my new favorite things to do is dry brushing. And I don't know if you know what dry brushing is. It is this, you use a brush, and you, it's a dry brush. It's made out of natural fibers, and you scrub your body with it, and it helps clear your skin, and it helps the surface of your body with the detoxification process. And I've actually begun doing this several times a week, not just when I'm cleansing, but just on a natural basis, because it's a nice way to make your skin really smooth and to help you detoxify sort of on a daily basis. And there's no side effects to it. And if your skin is really super sensitive, you can do it more gently when you first start. But as you get used to it, it begins to feel really, really good, because it's a deep way of cleansing your skin and your nervous system and all kinds of things. There's more to it too. One of the things I like about cleansing is it's an opportunity to start to learn to listen to your body. And in my lectures and in a lot of the things that I teach, and when I work with you as a client, I help you learn to listen to your body. And one of the best ways to learn to listen to your body is to reduce the noise. I call it noise. And that is, all of the stimulus that we have every day. If we drink coffee, and we eat sugar, and we eat pastries, and all of this stuff, it generates a certain amount of inflammation, and that inflammation is kind of always ongoing. And so when you're cleansing, you have an opportunity to sort of reduce the noise, and then you can feel what your body's going through, and that allows you to start to learn what you're sensitive to, and to start to learn what works for you. And then that allows you to have a healthier body, which of course that's all we're looking for. Also, when you reduce the noise, you have an opportunity to find stillness. And stillness is another way to learn to, tune into what's happening in your life. And it can help you with the relationships you have with your friends and your family, because as you get more quiet, you're able to listen better, not just to yourself, but to other people. And most importantly, sometimes when people are going through cleanses, you'll come up with some emotions, because food and what we eat is connected to a lot of emotion. And so you might find some emotional traumas that come up, and you'll have that opportunity to work with them and to heal them. And I always love that element of it. And you can use the time to reflect and tune in. And one of the elements that I encourage people to do in my cleanses, even though it's not part of taking the supplements and stuff, is to do some sort of a meditation every day, even just for 2 minutes, where you just reflect on the goodness in your life, and to think about gratitude, and to think about forgiveness, and to use some of your time that you're not cooking, because you don't have to cook as much. You're only possibly cooking one meal a day, and then having your shake twice a day. And so then you're not constantly busy in the kitchen. And recently, I've done a 7-day no food diet called the elemental diet. I've just been doing it. Actually, I've been doing it for the last 10 days now and not eating any food. And it's such a relief not cooking sometimes, you know, like, and it provides an opportunity to just kind of stay out of the kitchen for a little while. Although I love to cook most of the time, I've enjoyed this little break from cooking. Anyway, I'm inviting you to join me in my fall cleanse, and we're going to begin together on October 8th. So, and it will be a group effort if you'd like. And you're, of course, welcome to do it on your own, and you're welcome to start at any time before Thanksgiving. Actually, before December, you're welcome to do the cleanse. But if you want to do it in a group setting and have support, then we'll begin on October 8th, and we'll keep you all healthy. So here's the link to sign up for the cleanse, and I'm going to post it here as well. Here. So here's the link for the cleanse if you want to sign up for it. And it gives you all of the information. And you know, the most important thing in my career and in my work is to find love. And so I want to encourage you to approach this whole thing, if you want to do a cleanse, to approach it with loving yourself, not to approach it from an angle of hating your body and hating yourself and wanting to do something to make yourself feel bad. The whole purpose of a cleanse, of detoxification, is to feel better and to enjoy your life more and to be able to have the energy and vitality to do the things that you love to do. And that's my whole purpose in life. So I also failed to tell you some of the benefits of cleansing. Besides feeling more mental clarity, having more energy, losing weight, having improved digesting. A lot of people actually are surprised at how much your digestion will improve with this cleanse. And yeah, so improved digestion and improved energy and improved mental clarity. It'll help with your hormone support. So a lot of people who are struggling with hormones and even hot flashes and night sweats and things like that, you might feel better just by doing the cleanse. And so something to think about. I'm going to take you to the cleanse page and tell you just a little bit more about it. So yeah, so here's the fall cleanse, and well, it's not showing up for you, so let me just see. Let's see, can you see? Okay, so maybe you're not at the cleanse page, but basically you have an opportunity to do the cleanse, and today I'm making it available as of today. So if you're interested, you can buy it now. And there's 3 levels. There's the do-it-yourself, which is $197 plus shipping and handling, and it provides you with instruction booklet and the full kit, including the supplements and the shakes. And so all you have to do is provide yourself with a paleo type meal once a day. The level 2 includes a Facebook support group where you can chat with each other and me, and an email every single day. So you'll get an encouraging email and with some food suggestions, and you'll be part of my annual detox Facebook group. And that is $247 plus shipping and handling. And then the full support model is level 3, which is includes the cleanse kit, the instruction booklet, daily emails with tips and encouragement. You'll be part of the annual Detox Facebook group, and I'll do 2 live webinars, one on the first day of the cleanse, or on the second day of the cleanse, when the second day of a cleanse is quite often the most difficult, because that's when the detox starts and you can feel kind of crummy. And so I'll be live with you on the day on October 10th and October 16th, when it's sort of winding down, and we can discuss questions and answers, and I'll handle your own personal issues. And that is $397 plus shipping and handling. So there's the cleanse information. And I'm open now to questions if you have any questions. So start chatting. Don't be shy. Chat with me. Well, one of the questions that just came up is that somebody is asking, what if you have a lot of digestive problems? And if you have a lot of digestive problems, actually doing this cleanse could be a really, really great way to help heal some of the symptoms, because you'll be eliminating caffeine, dairy, sugar, and all grains. And a lot of times digestive problems are connected to those sorts of things. And so simplifying your diet can make you begin to have less digestive problems. But it can also clarify, like if you get a lot of digestive problems after you've done the cleanse, or you still have digestive symptoms after the cleanse, then you might have a hidden infection that you don't know about. And then that can be seen from, if you're not one of my regular patients, but then also it could be seen by them. And one of the questions is about the sulfur. And I do have a sulfur-free cleanse for those of you who know that you're sensitive to sulfur. And so, yes, you can order that, but you'd have to contact my office to order it. It's not on the page, on the cleanse offer page. Another question is, how much weight will I lose? And, you'll lose, everybody's different, and everybody has different issues with their metabolism. So some of my patients have lost up to 5 to 7 pounds. It's only a 2-week cleanse. So, if you don't, you might only lose 5 to 7 pounds, but you'll feel lighter. Your waist size will shrink because, again, the bloating and the inflammation will go down. And so even though you may not lose more than 5 to 10 pounds, you will feel a lot lighter, and your clothes will fit you differently. And also, of course, your skin will clear up. So that's a nice thing. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, I'm going to say thank you very much and wish you all an amazing evening. And if you do have questions, you can always feel free to email me at info@hearttoheartmedicalcenter.com. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.